Hello, everyone. Look where we are. We're at Empress Carpet 1 in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, Highway 4 North. They've got a bunch of amazing furniture that we're sitting on right now to do our podcast. And in our background, there's this beautiful table lamp.
Chandelier
style table lamp. So come get it. Come check out the store.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff in this store.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take you on a little tour after, but
yeah, I didn't even think of that. We will definitely take you on a tour.
It's a very neat store with a lot of cool stuff in here.
Yeah, if you're someone who like prides yourself on having a home that has really authentic, interesting pieces of furniture, you need to come here.
Yeah, especially like if you're, well, they just have everything here. And yeah, authentic, it's good quality, and it's original. Like you're not, it's one of those stores where you're not going to find it in every other store, which is nice. So if you're into like really unique pieces and statements, then this is definitely the store for you.
And if you're somebody who likes to copy what other people do and you buy something from and you see someone with something from this store and you want to copy it, you can't, because everything in this store, there's only one of. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like the store here.
Yeah, well, mostly everything. Some things I'm seeing, like some of the lamps, but for most part, everything here is one of a kind. So,
well, unless you're looking for carpet or
carpet, flooring, stuff like that. But
I think they're even getting into blinds now too.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Curtains and stuff. So
yeah,
neat stuff, neat store,
flooring.
Neat people that own the store too. Very salt of the earth kind of people. They were kind enough to let us do our podcast here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we're super thankful. So thank you to Empress Carpet 1. Yeah. We're two chicks in a pod. Ha! Yeah. What are we talking about today? We're talking about changes.
Yeah, so I recently was let go from my job that we worked together at, or worked together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name anything. Just gonna keep it very generalized. But yeah, it was a long time coming. It's, for me, the biggest thing is I'm just upset that I didn't get to do it my way. I was, knew my time there was done. But of course, just like everything in life, you panic about your next step. What am I gonna do? You're unhappy. You don't want to be there anymore. You're not being supported the way that, management should support their staff. And you kind of feel like you get backed into a corner. I was actively looking for other jobs. And luckily I got a job offer. So I'm just trying to decide whether or not I want to pursue that or focus on school or try and hack both at the same time. But yeah, no, it's, I knew it was a long time coming. If I wasn't going to make a step in the right direction, that the universe was going to do it for me, and that's what they did. I'm a huge believer that your life is all about choices, and if you make the right choices, things will be easy for you. But when you're making the wrong choices, things are going to be hard. And that's not to say that you won't be successful at it. But there's just going to be a lot more obstacles than if you were just following the path that you're supposed to be on. And I could have, like a pity party for myself, I guess, in a sense. But, I knew it was coming. I was talking to my counselor about it, and I even said that to him. Like I said, I have this idea in my head that I just need to make a little bit more money. I just need to save a little bit more money, and then I can quit and do what I want. And I finally just said, I'm just avoiding the inevitable and pushing it off longer than I should. And so the universe is literally just going to keep shitting on me, making me extremely uncomfortable until I make a step in the right direction. And so even when we were planning our next session, he said, "Does this date work?" And I said, "Sure," because who the fuck knows where I'm going to be at that point. And we just kind of laughed, and he's like, "Yep." He's like, "That's a good mindset to have," like in the sense that like I knew change was coming. I could feel it. I knew it was coming. it had been coming for a while. I mean, I had been handed a notice saying that I had to achieve a certain average or else I'd be let go. We had meetings about it, and I just said it is what it is. If I'm not going to get the support to be able to do the best that I can and make it a fair, even playing ground, then that's the fate. And you know what? It probably worked out better that way than quitting, because then I get paid severance and everything too. So in the long run, it probably worked out for the better. But I guess the message that I really want to I really realize that so many people are unhappy in their jobs. And I get it, work sucks, but I mean, when multiple people in the same environment are unhappy, I mean, I think it says more about the environment than it does about the people being lazy and just not wanting to work. And if you are truly unhappy, make the change. I mean, the universe will help you find a way. If you're a good person and you mean well in the world, they'll show you the way. And that's, as long as you have that mindset, things just fall into your laps. And it's just how did this even happen? There's been shit that happened in my life where it's just well, I really needed this right now, and here it is, and it's just, my dad used to joke that I would just kind of walk into things like that, and I think it's because I put that intent out there. But yeah, and at the end of the day, money is money, but I think sometimes we need to realize that we are living beyond our means, and we need to just kind of reel that back in, because at the end of the day, to put ourselves in that situation where you don't have a choice and you feel like you don't have a choice because money is holding you back is one of the worst things ever. And I wouldn't doubt that it's a leading cause of depression. Feeling like you're stuck and feeling like you're overwhelmed with debt. And that's just the world that we live in now. It's, spend all your money. Spend all your money with me. And everybody has, a hustle, and everybody has an angle that they want to sell you on nowadays. And I think we really need to focus and realize that money is not the end all be all. And
it's the root of all evil.
It's the root of all evil, and it's the reason why we're in the predicaments we're in now. And as much as I don't have any regrets, I don't think, because everything's led me to where I am now. And timing has its own, if this would have happened to me, a few years ago, I might have had a very different outlook on it. But again, sometimes it's you wish you could go back and make smarter choices about money,
hindsight.
Hindsight is 2020. But
I know when I went through, I went through my cosplaying phase. I still like cosplaying, but when I look at everything I bought for that, you just see it in money now. I see it in money now. What a waste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it brought you to meet some people and connected you with certain people, but even a lot of those people now, how many of them are you really truly that great of friends with now?
A few, Fawad is cool, and Vita Cosplay, I still love her very much, but for the most part, the cosplay community is very woke in the bad way, so they really don't like me anymore because I say things they don't like, so...
And that's unfortunate, that you can't look past differences. You have to acknowledge that you're not going to agree on every single topic or subject. And that's what I hate. It's if you're not on board with what I believe in, then it's well, we can't be friends. And
But see, in the interest of making money, people will often not say what they really feel.
Well, that's true, right?
And so that's exactly what, how things play out when you aren't honest with yourself, or if you are trying to, if you're trying to make something work that's not going to work for money. I've been there so many times. It does not pay off.
You water yourself down to try and make more money off of it.
Yeah.
Essentially is what you're doing. And that's kind of like a funny thing. Like, you know, some people have said like, oh, you know, people are going to be really mad about that podcast that you guys released. And it's like, so what? I think it's, or they're topics that I think people need to talk about and open their eyes to. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, like, and you know, like everything that you put on the internet, like it's there forever. And yeah, I realize that. And this might sound arrogant, but I mean, if I'm going to work somewhere and if they're going to treat me differently or poorly because of my views, I don't want to work there.
Right.
I don't want to be around those people. So, and then again, like you're watering yourself down for somebody else. Like, why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why? Like, don't you want to be exactly who you are? And that leads into, where is it? That leads into like the territory of like, yeah, censoring yourself. And then like I don't know, it's like you can be like such really good friends with someone, but then if they find out one thing about you, then they hate you. And like that's not the world I come from. I come from a world where people have honest discourse, and you know, I might not agree with you, but I'll poke fun at you for like what you believe, and you'll poke fun at me for what I believe. But in the end, we have our own solid convictions and we get along as people together. Like that's what the world should be, instead of all this backdoor. Like, okay, so I'm just going to say this straight up. Like, I ran into somebody who told me that they heard we got a lot of backlash for our Total Drama Island episode. And I'm like, where? Like, where? People loved what we said. People were celebrating us and clapping at us. Not a we got one angry YouTube comment calling us pathetic, but for the most part, every single other person was so happy that we stood up to their bully. And so there's two sides to every story. But the worst part is I know my side of the story, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to yap about it. But these other people... where's this backlash? I don't see it, because it's all hidden behind closed doors, because
it's all hidden and, you know, behind people's backs, and, you know.
Yeah, like I can almost bet that some of the people who were mad about what we said were also the people DMing me being like, thanks for saying, you know what I mean? Like,
well, they were.
We know this.
They were.
We know this.
Like, you guys out yourselves, and like you might like.
Yeah. Not naming names.
We're not gonna name names, but I'm just gonna say this, and you can take it for whatever it's worth. But you can lie to your friends, but you can't lie to us.
Yeah.
And like that's people that are intuitively connected. It's like we can see. Yeah. Exactly what we're doing. Like we can see the ugly person behind this mask that you're putting on.
We're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, and like the people that are trying to play both sides, like we see you.
Yeah.
I don't like involve myself with those types of people just because I know what like
you don't need those people in your life.
I don't need those people in my life. It's bad energy and it's bad juju. But
whereas when people, I still will talk to some of those people, and I don't know why. I guess I always hope that people will look in the mirror someday, but I don't know.
We're just way too much of a superficial world, unfortunately, for that, where anything with real substance. But like, even with the fact that, you know, there's people are saying that the's backlash. Where is it?
Why
aren't they saying anything to us?
Why don't we see it?
Are we? I just had like are we like the Candace Owens of like Lloydminster, where we will call your shit out and then people are scared to like engage with us because they're like, oh no, are they gonna call us out?
You know, I would take that if that's what we are. I would take that and put it on my mantle, because thank you. We're glad. Like
but like
again, I don't like this is what people are misunderstanding about me. I don't attack people. Candace Willits attacked me first. And that's what I want to be fucking clear right now. I didn't bully her. She came at me first, and I addressed it. And then did I go too far with what I did? Yes. And we've watched that whole episode if you care, but I just can't believe that somebody actually said to me, yeah, there's a lot of backlash, when we didn't see a fucking lick of backlash. Where's the backlash, y'all? Where's the backlash? I want the backlash. You know, like the fuck? Like, I just want to be around real fucking people who are authentic, who tell the truth, who fucking don't have a fucking game to play.
Yeah, like straight shooters, people that like shoot from the hip. And you know, it's funny because like people will compliment me on that ability, but it's like when I'm shooting from the hip and I'm shooting at you, then you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Which is freaking hilarious, but
yeah, like we shoot from the hip at each other all the time, and we can go on with our lives, you guys. Like, it's not that hard to be an original, authentic person. You just gotta stop trying to be something
that you're
just
not.
Be. Just be.
Do what makes you happy. But yeah, that whole thing, like, and you know,
that was so dumb.
That was dumb. And
like, the fact that we even talked about it, I feel now is dumb. Like, I mean, it had to be addressed, but I just...
But again, we talked about it,
It didn't need
to
be what it was.
No, it didn't need to be what it was. But, and I understand, like, too, I will understand, like, as breaking it down and talking about it, you know, probably didn't want any, like, attention brought to it because it's kind of embarrassing in itself, too. And, and it makes me wonder, like, how much of that maybe hit home on that, and that's why there's no backlash on it, because it's like, well,
were we too right?
Well, I don't know, like, and I don't think we were maybe right in like actually like name dropping and really drawing attention to it, but then again like we complain about like these people, like you can tell when she's had like these fights with people. And then people even said in your DMs that the only reason why they didn't stand up to her is because they were worried about the backlash that they would get, and for her and her people to come after them.
Yeah,
essentially.
well,
like,
if you're scared, just know that nobody's coming after you, because when you confront people like that, when you confront fake people, and then they have to admit what they've done and admit that what they're saying isn't true, and admit that the fakeness that is in them is fucking fake as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like she deleted everything that she had posted in regards to it because she knows that if she draws attention to it, people are going to see what she really is. And so it's like, again, waiting for the backlash, waiting for it.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's not like I don't hate the person. I don't hate anybody, and it's not, and personally for me, like I said, like I've said, like I don't agree, so I just unfollow. And of course, I'm kind of like lumped into it a little bit because of what you did. Yeah. But like, and I just say what I say, and it doesn't, like, when I talk about health and unhealthy habits, like I'm talking to everyone about that. I have unhealthy habits, and I'm working on correcting those. Everybody has room to improve.
But you're not influencing people to pick up on your unhealthy habits. You know what I mean? Like, that's where, when you're a public figure and you're knowingly influencing people to do things, then people are gonna, you know, say things to you. Like, you have to just, that's part of the job.
And if you're, people are going to say things to you and they're going to disagree with you. And that's the thing. Like, if you're an influencer, like, I don't really have, like, a lot of sympathy for people that, like, I do, but I don't have sympathy for people that feel attacked, that display their entire lives on the internet.
Exactly.
Because you have to understand that not everybody's going to like you, and not everybody is just going to be passive aggressive. Like, we've seen her in how many, like, fights with people passively aggressively. Like, you can tell. And like, the difference between us is that this is what happened, and we're not going to be passive aggressive. We're just going to tell you what happened.
We're not going to hide from it. And that's the worst part, is because a lot of these girls who came to me and said that she bullied me, a lot of these girls were like, yeah, she'll post all of this stuff passive. She won't name the name. Like, the one girl, I'll just say her name because she said I could, but the one girl, Jen, she was like bullying this girl, and Jen went straight to her and said, "Can you stop posting all this stuff about me?" And Candace was like, "I'm not posting it about you." And Jen said, "Yes, you are. Like, this is the conversation we had, and this is what you're saying now." And Candace was like, "Well, no. Like,
and
I wasn't."
And then Candace was only like putting like little like the parts that she wanted people to see, and not the whole discourse. And that's the problem. Is like, people take little snippets of like something that happened, but they don't
they won't blow up to the full picture.
Full picture.
Like
and
we did.
And so, like, when you crop it out, yeah, you can, like, make somebody look really shitty.
Yeah.
And look like a horrible person. But then when you put the whole perspective on it, it's like, well, was it really that bad?
Yeah.
Why are you blowing this out of proportion?
And so this girl went to her and was like, you hurt my feelings. Like, that was really mean. I don't like what you said about me. And Candace didn't care. And so to me, it's like, listen, if you're going to engage in these passive-aggressive fights and talk shit about people but still not say their name, you're still hurting people. That's not nice. And so, yeah. So that, just be fucking nice and stop trying to hide from...
Be nice and be real. Just be a real human being, or don't post about it and just have a conversation. And that's another thing too. Like, if this person was super hurt, like, hey, let's have a conversation, like, in person or even over the phone if you're not comfortable. And then, like, you know, whatever, like, I'm sorry if you felt attacked, but...
Yeah, and that's the thing. These people aren't willing to acknowledge or take responsibility for the bullshit, passive-aggressive shit that they do. They just won't take responsibility for it, and that is why I like to make sure that we say exactly what happened when it comes to things that with me, because... You know what I mean? Like, I'll take responsibility for what I did, but she still has not taken responsibility for what she did, and so, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
On that
note... It is
note...
what it is, and I don't know, like, if you are feeling embarrassed and triggered and whatever else, like, yeah, it sucks to feel that way, but maybe take a deeper look inside and see what you can do to make yourself feel better in this situation.
Exactly. And with that, we love ya. Have a great day.
Goodbye.